Hi, welcome to Poppel or the pricing system. This app can do various things, such as adding or modifying an order, add or modify a customer, add or modify stock, generate a picking list, use a calculator if you want to, get help, see they are part of the app, close the system. Right? You can also do the same thing here, also here, also here. Also this section, you can generate an expired product report, and you can do the same thing here, which is just getting help. When you use this app for the first time, what you want to do, you want to go to stock category maintenance, and add your categories here. Right? You can modify it. Right? You can add a new one. You can delete and close. Once you're done with this section, you can move on to the section of adding products. Once you have added your stock categories, you can move on and add your products. Once you're here, you can add a new product. You can add anything that you want. If the product does not expire, you can just click this out, which means you do not track the expiry date. You can choose the product categories. This section is the section we just added. And then you cannot change quantity on hand here. There's a section of changing quantity on hand. Right? You will see that later. Then you can save your product and let's close. Once you've saved your product, you can modify it. Right? Still, you cannot change this here. There's a section of changing this. Okay, you can change anything that you want. You can modify basically. And then if you want, you can see the next product. You can see the previous product. And then you can delete a product if you want to. You can close. Once you're done with this section, you can move on and go to stock quantity adjustment, where you adjust your quantities. Once you have added your products, now it's time to adjust the quantities of the product that you just added. So you go to stock, you go to quantity, you go to stock quantity adjustments, and then you land here. Once you're here, you can enter a product ID. So in this case, I entered the wrong product ID, so it shows me the list of products that are available. Then I can choose, right? We can choose this one, right? And select, and then here we can choose to add more to it. So if you add 12, right? And then we can choose another product, right? Whatever product that we want, we can do that. And then once you satisfied with adding all the products that you want, you can add as many as you want, and then you can click save. So once you have saved it, then you can close this section. That means you've just added the quantities. So once you're done with this section, you can move on and add your customers. Just to confirm, from the previous section, we have adjusted the stock quantities. So this product, we have added 12 on the previous section, so now it is 12. Okay, moving on. Once you have added your quantities, you can move on and add your customers. Here, you can add a new customer, right? A new customer will be allocated 2,000 Rand, right, to spend. So if their credit status is on hold, that means they have no credit to spend. If it is released, that means they have credit to spend, right? So you cannot change this section here. It is a new customer, right? You can add an address for this customer, save the address, right? And then you can save. You can save this customer. Once you've saved the customer, you can modify the customer if you want to. You can choose any customer to modify, right? So you can change anything. Now you see here you can change the credit status because this is the edit mode, right? You can change also the customer credit. You can see the next customer, you can see the previous customer. You can delete the customer, you can edit address for the customer, right? Or you can modify an address for the customer. Save, you can also delete the address if you want to. So once you've done with your modification, you can save. So once you're satisfied, you can filter by credit status, right? As you can see here, these ones are the customers that are released, on hold, on hold. Removing the filter, you can search, right, with the customer ID. Right. Once you're done with this section, then you can move on to the section of adding orders for those customers that you just added. Once you've added your customers, you can move on and add orders. Here you can add a new order, right? You can choose a customer. If you choose the wrong ID for a customer, it's going to give you a list of customers you can select from, right? So here you can choose the payment method. If you choose credit, then it's gonna be deducted from their credit. If you choose credit card, then it's not. If you choose not paid, it's still not. Okay, so here you can add as many as you want. You can add product items, right? So as you can see, there's no product ID that is 25. You can select any that you want, right? Select. Once you've selected, you can add the product quantity that you want to buy, right? So in this case, if it is more than 50, it's going to realize that and complain, right? And then you can say okay, and then it's going to adjust back to 50, right? So as you can see here, I'm paying by credit card, so it doesn't complain, right? But if the moment I choose credit, it's going to complain because this is more than this, so it's going to adjust, right? When it adjusts, as you can see, it adjusts just below the customer credit, right? So you can add as many as you want. For instance, if I try and add a new product here, right? Maybe let's add the Powerade, and then you see here it's still above 2000, so it's complaining again. So it's gonna adjust. As it's saying, customer credit limit reach, or the item adjust to follow, and then remove it. And then you can save the order, right? It asks you please select a method to receive an order. We have not selected it, so we gotta have to select it. So if we select delivery, right, and then click save, this customer does not have a delivery address. Do you want to add it? If you click yes, you're gonna add the delivery address. If you click no, then it's gonna take you back to collect. In this case, I'm just gonna save this. All right, once you have saved the order, you can add as many orders as you want. Once you're done, you can close. As you can see, this is the order we just added right now. Once you're here, you can modify the order. You can modify. So once the order has been created, you can no longer change this. You can no longer change this, right? Only the things that you can change the receive order method, and also you can change the order status, right? You can change it to processing confirmed, but you cannot change it to pending payment because you've already paid, right? So you can change it to shipped or cancelled or refunded or completed or anything that you want, right? Really. And then also you can also choose the delivery method. Like you can choose the receive order method here, right? Here it says free delivery for orders greater than or equal to 500, right? If I click delivery here, if the order is less than 500, then it's going to add 100 rand, which is the cost for the delivery. Okay, so it's a delivery fee, right? So in this case, I'm just going to take it back to collect, and then you can save. For instance, I'm just going to change this to completed. Once you click completed, it's going to note the date it was completed, right? And then you can save, right? So as you can see here, this order status is now completed and at this date, right? Has not been shipped because it is being collected after all. Collect, right? So once you've modified and you're satisfied with your modifications, you can also use these filters. You can filter by pending payment. You can filter by anything that you want. You can filter by completed, right? You can filter by refunded. In this case, there's no such. You can filter by credit, right? Payment method, which is credit, not paid, right? Not paid, and maybe shipped, no such, right? Pending payment, there's such. Confirmed, no such. You can choose any combination you want. Receive order, delivery, no such. Collect, yes. And then you can just remove this filter, right? As you can see, it's only showing collected. The one that you going, the ones it's showing the orders that are going to be collected. Delivery, yes. And then once you're done with this section, you can also like search for your order ID. Okay, so once you're done with this section, you can move on to the section of generating a picking list. Once you have added your orders, you can move on to the section of generating a picking list. So it's gonna give you a list of orders here that you can select, and then you can select and select. Right, you give it a moment, it's gonna generate a picking list. Right, as you can see, picking list, order number, the date and time it was generated, customer details, order items, the totals. Alright, so once you're done with this section, you can move on to the section of generating expired product report. You might want to generate an expired product report. So you go to stock, you click stock report, you give it a moment, it's generating the expired product report. As you can see, it has generated it. So if you look here, expired date 16 November, today is this date, so it has expired, right? And then you can see the totals of everything here, right? Total of the cost price, right? So this is the expired product report.